Welcome to the Investing Podcast presented by Tusk Media. The final bell has rung and the market is now closed. So let's move on to an audio and video recap with the Investing Happy Hour.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Investing Podcast where Garrett is running into lights and doing his best to get fired. We will fire him. Special shout out to those following us on Periscope over there and those trying to follow us on Facebook Live. Facebook, rough day for you. We're going to talk about you in a minute, but it's going to be even rougher if we can't get a live feed going here on Facebook Live because we have tens of people wanting to watch. Andrew Hall here, Matt Kresbach, the unit. What's up, dude?
Not much. How you doing?
Doing well. First time out this week. How you feeling?
Didn't do Friday either.
Oh yeah,
It's been a while.
You rusty?
Yeah, I feel a little rusty.
He was stretching earlier, so hopefully he's limber enough to do this thing. We're gonna go ahead and jump right in here. Markets: Dow down 45 basis points, S&P down 55, Nasdaq down 66, global Dow down 21 basis points. Gold up about 1/3%. Oil, strong day again, up almost 2% to $46.60. Oil's just kind of running up, man. It's been
Where do you think it's going? Over 50?
over 50. Calling it. You heard it right here first. Actually,
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, actually, I'm pretty sure I predicted that it wouldn't go over 50 earlier, but you heard it now.
I mean, that run over the past 2 weeks has been crazy
It's
strong.
real strong. I mean, it was
Strong.
dipped down to 39 and change, and now we're at
Did it get that
46.60. I think it did. I think for just a minute.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about one of your favorite times of the year, 13F season.
I do like 13F.
Explain to people out there what a 13F actually is, in case they're a layman investor out there, and explain what's fun about them and why you like digging into them and kind of analyzing stuff.
Well, I guess for our case, pretty much every hedge fund, and I think we do too,
Mhm.
have to file a 13F 45 days after a quarter ends. And they just contain every long position they have. They don't show short positions
Mhm.
or, I think, commodity exposure. So you don't really get a full picture of what they do, but you can kind of get just a general idea of their thinking and what they're buying recently-ish.
Yeah, sort of.
So you can't put a ton of faith in what they're doing because,
It's dated.
yeah, it's dated. But yeah, you can see some great ideas. It's a great great place to pull new ideas from.
So anything that stood out from you recently in the last couple days?
I was just looking before we started doing this. One of the bigger funds that I like to follow that I think has a lot of great ideas trimmed their Activision Blizzard position by 2/3.
Hmm.
I've never been that big of a fan of it just
Yeah.
because I think World of Warcraft is bleeding users and I think Call of Duty is kind of saturated.
Yeah.
So
But-
it's kind of
So that was something.
Yeah.
Anything else that popped? I will say one thing you can do is
Facebook.
Yeah.
I saw that already. Facebook Live.
You can sign up for 13F notifications. There's all kinds of sites that actually do that, which is kind of intriguing. I actually get it on Narwhal just in case somebody makes some trades that I'm not aware of. For 45 days later, I can catch them. So a little insider tip there. Certainly not something you could use as an investment for. But 13Fs, they're out there. You can find them. They're public. You can kind of cull through that stuff. You mentioned Facebook. I mentioned Facebook. Facebook. How are they going to deal with the loss of Justin Bieber from Instagram?
It's gonna hurt.
It's huge. Bieber no longer on there. Lots of controversy around there. But the Biebs, man, is how long till he's back?
Yeah, I was
Let's
gonna
get
say
real.
he'll be back. Come on.
Let's get real. He'll be back. His stock really started slipping when he started referring to his fans, the Beliebers, just as fans.
Can't do
Just
that.
classless move. You're a believer or you're not. You're never actually a fan. Just classless.
He makes good music.
Great music.
You can't hate on him though.
Arguably the best.
I can't tell if you're kidding or not. I actually really think he makes
I
good
don't know if
music.
I'm kidding either. So Facebook, they're going to try to survive. Hillary Clinton is starting to fill out kind of her advisor team. She named a chief economist today. Heather Boushey? I don't know how to say it. But she is described as an inequality expert. So you got that. She's published a lot of really diverse publications. Two that stood out. These are two different publications. Number one, Are Women Opting Out? Debunking the Myth. That's number one. Number two, Opting Out, the Effect of Children on Women's Employment in the U.S. So really knows a lot about a really wide array of diverse economic issues. Excited to see what an inequality expert could potentially bring to a advisory role.
I'm not gonna touch that one.
He's just going to leave it. Let's jump into the topic at hand next, the Olympics. everybody loves the Olympics. We haven't done an Olympic update today. First and foremost, let's go ahead and get the medal count up here. Gold medals only. We don't count silver. We don't count bronze. U.S. coming in strong, 28.
Are you still watching the Olympics?
I am. Enjoying it too. How about the dive across the finish line yesterday? Did you see
No, I haven't watched it
that?
yet.
So a University of Georgia sprinter actually dove across
dog?
the finish line and beat Allison Felix, like the dominant 400-meter sprinter.
Like dove on purpose?
It kind of looked like she fell, stumbled, but then was like, "Oh, I got this," and reached. It was pretty crazy.
Like cool crazy or?
Yeah, like I loved it. China. You know what's not made in China? Gold medals.
Do you know if any of these countries are like, because let's assume that USA is not the greatest at track, like they're not bad, but like, all right, can any of these like catch up?
I don't know.
No.
I don't want to stereotype these nations, but I don't
Yeah.
think we're going to see a whole lot of speed.
Yeah.
So there's the count. We don't count anybody with single digits. We don't count. Yeah, I think the U.S. is going to kind of be in a spot to run away with this thing. So that's the good news. I was looking at some interesting stuff. I mean, this is the investing podcast, so we talk money here sometimes when we're not talking Olympics, but some interesting financial data points related to the Olympics. The U.S. gymnastics team, they got 8 leotards, that's what they call their uniform, the women. Each cost between $700 and $1,200 to make.
Really?
Yeah, $700 to $1,200 for those leotards. I got 8 of them.
What are they made of?
They've got crystals.
So they gotta be like engraved like diamonds or something.
So it's like the real deal. So interesting point there. Also, winners of the gold, the silver, and the bronze medal, in most countries, they get a cash prize from their nation's Olympic committee. So you get, this medal, which by the way, gold medals are mostly silver. They're only like a small percentage actually
I
gold.
think I knew that actually.
Which is kind of bogus.
I've heard
I'm
that
just
before.
throwing it out there. Like a gold medal of that size and that weight would be really awesome if it was like pure gold at $1,300 and change dollars per ounce. That'd be pretty awesome.
That'd be nice.
But so people get like a cash prize for it, and it kind of raises the question, really a question about Michael Phelps, and I'm wondering how American he really is, because when you think about America, you kind of think about, I think a lot about capitalism being really industrious with your skills, maximizing your potential, really figuring out ways to really better yourself. Those are some traits that I consider to be distinctly American. No other country tries to better themselves. In the U.S., if you win a gold medal, you get $25,000.
That was my next question.
It's a pretty solid little cash prize. So Michael Phelps, with his 23 gold medals, has won $575,000. So nice little.
What's silver? Does it say?
So nothing for silver in the U.S.
Why, for real?
But
That's so you.
if he was a
You
member,
probably support
yeah,
that.
I'm totally in favor of that. That's a very American policy. But if he was competing for Singapore, $757,000
Wow.
US dollars per gold medal, $370 for silver, $189 for bronze. So if you look at his total medal count, which
Wow.
again I wouldn't count the silver or bronze, but Singapore would, he could have made right at $18.9 million in prizes off of that. Instead, he's won $575,000. So I feel like
Crazy.
one of two things has happened here. Either Phelps is un-American, or he's a really bad investor, because he's getting no return on that effort.
Are you saying you should like change like?
Yeah, I looked up citizenship.
Yeah,
It's
citizenship,
really, really
that's what I was looking
straightforward
for,
in Singapore.
citizenship.
It's really straightforward in Singapore. You got to work there and live there for 2 years and pass a test.
You could do that.
Yeah,
Sure, just train there.
it's a no-brainer. But it's kind of crazy. It also kind of makes you wonder why the U.S. puts such a low value on it. I kind of feel like it's because, well, yeah, you're expected to win.
Yeah.
Or
Or
America.
like you're gonna win a ton more than a Singapore guy would.
Yeah, you would hope so. I mean, that's kind of the belief. But so we're like 22nd or 23rd in terms of pay for a gold medal. But what's interesting is if you take that $25,000 and you assume that, hey, this is someone's full-time craft, right? They work 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year for 4 years to win that gold medal. They make about $3 an hour. So there you go. So I think the U.S. is not rewarding its athletes enough. Just throwing it out there.
I mean, for like Michael Phelps' case, like obviously he gets the sponsorships and everything.
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys, but what about the guys that don't? Like,
Right.
Like the second tier.
Right. You
Is
look
there
at
such thing as a second tier gold?
I think so. I mean, you look at some of these sports that really aren't going to have a huge marketing base. Sure, you're going to have opportunities, but you look at something. Let's say we won gold in diving. Like, what's the marketing potential of
Yeah.
a gold medal diver? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's something with the brands that are specific to that, but in terms of them like really racking up tons and tons of endorsements. I mean, Phelps's net worth is like $100 million. I saw
Yeah.
because he gets so much in sponsorship
Yeah.
dollars. Usain Bolt makes $30 million a year in sponsorship, but
Yeah.
those are like like Phelps is the most accomplished Olympian of all time,
Yeah.
one of the better athletes, some would say, in swimming pool. Usain Bolt is the first guy ever to win arguably the most iconic individual event
Mhm.
of the Summer Games. I feel like you always talk about who wins the 100 meters.
Mhm.
So I get those guys, but exactly to your point, or even like an individual, say, individual male gymnast that's the fifth best guy on a 5-man team. Like, what's his marketing potential? I don't know. I mean, it just can't be that much.
Yeah.
Like, we should throw that guy more than 25K.
I wonder what that lifestyle's like. Like how like how he lives. It'd be interesting.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they're grinding. There's no way. I also don't,
Yeah, they're
especially like
grinding.
something like Olympics, though. It's not like I don't think it's something you could have a job and still
Yeah.
be a gold medalist gymnast.
Yeah, I agree.
There's no way. So, I don't know. Phelps, un-American, poor investor of his resources. I don't know. That's up for you guys to be the judge. Any other Olympic topics that are?
No, I've
Weigh
been,
in on
I've
you,
been,
have you?
I've been slacking on the Olympics recently.
So we got a basketball game tomorrow, United States against some other country. Garrett, do you know?
I don't.
So had some close calls lately.
Yeah, super close.
So
Way
bas-
too close.
yeah, they can't handle these offenses and the way the guys just move the whole time, like athletes. It totally throws off the Americans. Probably because they don't really care about $25,000.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
probably a good starting
That's
point.
like less than a game check for most of those guys. I guess that's all we got. This has been the Investing Podcast. Thanks again for being here. Hit subscribe. Thanks to the people that maybe or maybe didn't find us on Periscope or Facebook Live. We will be back tomorrow with a regular schedule, and then Thursday, we do it every Thursday, we're going to have our scheduled live investing podcast. We guarantee that the technology will or will not be better. Y'all have a great night. See y'all tomorrow.
Tusk Media is a subsidiary of Narwhal Capital Management. Ratings and reviews of Tusk Media content are not to be construed as endorsements of opinions, analysis, or services offered by Tusk or its parent company. The opinions and predictions shared here are our professional beliefs at the time of publication. We are not under duress from any of the corporate entities mentioned. This is not a solicitation to take any particular action. Although we are investment advisors, this information should not be considered investment, legal, or tax advice. We strive to be as impartial, insightful, and accurate as possible. We base our opinions, analysis, and calculations on information we believe to be reliable, but we cannot guarantee its accuracy. We can, however, guarantee that our opinions will sometimes be flat out wrong due to a variety of factors. Employees and clients of Narwhal Capital Management may or may not hold positions in the securities detailed and may or may not hold these positions in the future. A full list of all securities purchased, sold, or held during the 12 months preceding the date of this publication can be provided upon request. Unless otherwise noted, all data accessed via MarketWatch or the Bloomberg terminal. Past performance does not guarantee future results. A copy of Narwhal's Form ADV is available at the SEC's website, www.advisorinfo.sec.gov, or from Narwhal upon written request.